see.
Oh, see him? There he is. Nice. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm heading my way back home from work right now, and I figured I'd just get a quick intro out to you right here. I did not film a formal intro on this episode that I shot right here. I was kind of pressed for time. I had a wedding that was going on that day, and I knew there was a weather pattern that was coming in, so I had basically maybe 2 hours worth of fishing that I can do here. But I think the whole premise of this episode is just kind of being nostalgic and going back to the original videos that I shot at the beginning of this channel when I was called Fishing with Thunder Dan, and then of course turned into 302 Fishing, which you guys are presently seeing right now. The OGs remember the old name there. But I went back there. I always have success fishing on this pond. I hadn't been in several years, and I put a couple baits on this pond that I basically knew they were going to be successful in trying to get fish to strike. Let's just say for the 2 hours I was out there, it was a struggle. I thought it was going to be a big old dink fest out there, but we stuck it out. It started raining, and we had a little surprise come at the end of this video. So check it out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and if you did, guys, give us that thumbs up. This brings back memories here. Spring obviously is here. You always know when you go to these community ponds, they turn on their fountains. Of course, you got all the blossoms popping out on some of these trees and blooms and everything else coming out of the ground. Daffodils, tulips, all those plants to give you the indicators of spring. But we're gonna get down here, throw our first cast and see what we can get away with. Fish-wise, I see minnows bouncing all over the place already. We'll get the Krackin Craw Jr. out there and get to work. Working in less than ideal conditions here. We got a little bit of wind going on here, so I'm hopeful I can feel some of these bumps on the end of the line. We got our wind going from our left to our right. But if I had to guess where I think the fish are going to be, it's going to be way down on the end here, where that wind is pushing to. Oh. Fish picked it up and dropped it. Saw my line twitching a little bit there. Oop. I think we got a fish. Real small ones. I'm just watching my line right here. I can see it straightening up already. Fish on. Little tiny one. Oh, quick release. As we're going through our progressions here, I did have a chance to look at the weather here while I was working on my backlash here. End of next week, it looks like we're going to finally break the pattern where the weather's just been scattered all over the place, up to 70 degrees, down to 40 to 30, freezing. It's going to be all 60s, almost 70 degrees for multiple days. So hopefully winter's finally gone, even though it's spring, and these fish can get into some type of regular pattern here, because it's been very spotty here. It's been to say the least, it's a crappy beginning to the year here bass wise. But I don't think the spawn has started as of yet. I think next week is when these bass will start moving around and coming closer. I mean, we got the minnows and everything else like that, so that's kind of a good sign. But we don't have the busting up on the shorelines where these bass go after these minnows. All right, I'm hearing frogs in the background. Things are slowly coming back to life. I don't know if you can notice or not. Right in front of us here, you see these little green fronds that are popping up out of here with tiny little leaves about the size of my hand or smaller. Those are the starts of the brand new lily pads for the new year. They will cover this whole pond right here, and it's a good spot to fish around because fish are usually hiding up underneath it there. But I can't wait till we start getting all the leaves back on the trees. I got some blooms going on, as I mentioned earlier in the intro. But I can see tinges of color on the trees across the way. Oh, fish on. He just yanked that right out of my hands. Did you see that? Another little dink here. There are some big ones in here. There's a couple 5-pounders in here. Hopefully we get lucky and we catch one of them, but off she goes. Those little ones like hanging around that horseshoe that's right up underneath the water here. The bigger ones tend to hang down towards the end over there. I hope we get a little spark over here. It's one thing about shooting these videos, man. You got like endless gaps of nothingness. You try to do everything in your power to try to fight the boredom while you're waiting for that next bite. It's got to be something laying over here. Oh, fish on. We got him. Little one. He pounced on that. Still waiting for a giant. I've got about maybe 2 more hours worth of good fishing here. I got to cut it short because I have a wedding to go to today. And oh, man down. Man down. I'm on a slippery slope here, folks. Oh boy. I'm okay, everybody. I hit that mud patch right there. Got my bearings back. That's the only thing about wearing sneakers when you're walking around these banks, these incline banks that is. You get a hold of that mud, that soft mud, man, you slide right out easily. I don't think I wouldn't be able to catch that even with my boots on. Usually when things are popping on this pond, yeah, like I said, I come to this pond like once in a blue moon. But these little alcoves that are right along the way, that's where the big bass like to hang at. They kind of make that their spot. And then when the fall comes around, I come around with my chatterbait. If I bomb out towards the middle, that's where the big ones hang out, right there. But fishing doesn't get any easier when you're older, folks. It took me a second to get up off the ground there. Can't just pop up like a little sprite like I used to back in the day when I was a kid. Let's get around the back side of the pond here. As I'm walking, I can hear the squishiness underneath my feet. And see that right there, you can see all the moisture. We've had a lot of rain lately, so these grounds are pretty saturated. Fish on. Another little one. Got it on the drop. Looks like we're gonna have dink swirl today on this episode. That was way out in the middle there. Fish on. There we go. Little one. That one I barely felt. Off she goes. I'm gonna get this pond a half an hour more off of the plastic here, and then I'm gonna go back to my car. In the last hour, I'm just gonna go ahead and go crazy with the chatterbait if I have one in the car, or spinnerbait, one or the other. Fish on. He was messing with me on the edge over there. But I was able to nab him. Off she goes. The good thing is we aren't skunked. The bad thing is we don't have a giant on the end of the line yet, but I'm not losing hope. We still have less than an hour and a half to make it happen. We should be able to get one more fish off of this section right here. We do have a lot of snags over here, so we got to be careful of that. But we're going to try to stand up on that pipe. Again, Minnie is jumping all over the place. One more shot here with the little guy. Fish on. I got him. Sometimes the little ones are fun. All right, so let's go ahead and get that guy in the water there, and then I'm gonna head over to my car, and we're just gonna go ahead and rip this pond up with the chatterbait if I have one. We got our chatterbait attached right here. We got the original chatterbait by Z-Man. This is the big blade, chartreuse and white and orange. And we got a Pro Shad Saucy Slimmer on the end of the line, 3.5 inches. And we're gonna try to see if we can wake these big girls up. My feeling is all the little bass are down on the bottom, and I think the bigger bass are up there, just hanging in the water column. We'll throw a couple shots over here. And then we get into the deeper water. Oh man, we had one on for a split second. Got a little drizzle that's going on right now. Wasn't very big, but I had one on the end of the line. He was pulling to the right a little bit.
Hey, what up, say?
Oh, see him? There he is. Nice. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Ah, there you go, boys and girls. There you go. He was sitting up underneath all of that crap over there. There you go. On the chatterbait. Nice. Look at the belly on that fish, man. Holy crap. I told you there was nice ones in here. Beautiful, beautiful bass. Obviously, we're gonna get a weight. Battery wants to die at the most inopportune times, but fight, fight, fight. And that's what you get, man. A beautiful bass like that. So we're gonna get a weight on it. If I had to guess, maybe close to 4 pounds. Well, what do we got here? Ooh, bigger than that. 4.8. Almost a 5-pounder on the original Chatterbait big blade. Boom. That fish just lurched right out of the water, man, and he barely just swiped at the bait. But let's get this mama on the way. Beautiful, beautiful fish. And she's gone. All right, I'm just about home right now. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed that episode. Guys, when you get out to these community ponds, the only thing I can kind of give to you right now is just a kind of bit of knowledge, is if you do visit these ponds in regularity, always remember what happens on those ponds, whether it be the weather, any other conditions that are involved in that pond, or the baits that you're using right here. Because always, if you continue using what you're using, it's always going to inevitably put fish back up on the end of the line. But sometimes the fish will grow a memory and say, hey, look, I'm not biting this anymore, and of course you have to try something new. But I knew, because I don't go to that pond very, very often, that they would come back to the baits that I originally used when I shot this episode many, many years ago on this channel. So I'm so glad that Chatterbait put that big old green beauty up in front of you. But I'm hoping you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, guys, give me that big fat thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, I would hope you consider subscribing to the channel, clicking that notification bell. That way you're informed of all of our future episodes. You can follow us on Instagram at 302 Fishing. Always on my right-hand side is always a nice video that you can check out. And of course, you can visit our playlist to your heart's content. I'm hoping you guys had a great day, and I'm hoping to get to see you on the next episode.